recently I've been watching a lot of Nick Bare videos. I find them to be very motivational and inspirational as I train for Boston. And I'm going to back up what I said about 5 or 6 months ago. I put out a YouTube video claiming that Nick Bare does not use steroids. Lots of people trashed that video saying that I was crazy, and I'm going to double down on what I said. So yes, Nick Bare is huge for a marathon runner. He's shredded. He runs like 6:30 sub paces, even like close to 6-minute pace for a marathon, which is insane. And I get it. I totally get the vibe that all these people sitting on the couch eating potato chips or whatever all y'all who were hating on that video at least were doing, just look at it from the outside and you're like, that's impossible. But hear me out, or don't. Most of y'all, I'm going to call you out, don't wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do 10-mile runs. Most of y'all don't do 3 to 5 lifting sessions per week if you're training for marathons like Nick. So I think it's very easy to just sit on the sidelines and be like, well, that's not possible what he's doing. It's not possible to run whatever pace he's doing. He wouldn't be able to recover like that. He wouldn't look so shredded, etc., etc., etc. But it's so easy to say that when you're not putting in the work. Nick Bare has built his brand around discipline and hard work. BPN was not built through steroids. BPN was built because Nick wakes up early in the morning and he crushes those runs. It was built through consistency. Now, do I know this for a fact? No, I don't. I've never even met Nick. Technically, I could be wrong, but this is how I see it. And you know, sometimes it's hard for me to even see it that way because I was an Army infantry officer and I failed Ranger School. Some of you know that if you've watched my content. Nick certainly passed Ranger School. He went through the same path and he passed. So I could like be triggered by Nick because he was an infantry officer and he passed Ranger School. But I'm not, because I've followed his videos for so long that I truly don't believe that Nick is the type of officer that would have treated me the way a lot of the other toxic officers treated me for not having a tab. Again, I could be wrong, but I've watched a lot of his content. I think he's an authentic person. I personally think he's a nice family guy who works really super, super hard. So I'm not triggered at all by the fact that he has a Ranger tab, and that's why I'm willing to double down on it. I personally believe that he's achieved his status on social media, his business, his physique, his marathon times through hard work. Now, I could be the biggest idiot in the world for claiming this, but that's just what I believe. Let me break this down for you. So, if there was definitive proof that Nick Bare was using steroids, I feel like it would already be out there, but there's not. There's a lot of speculation from people that are not putting in the work that he's putting in. So from me, who am I going to listen to? Am I going to listen to a bunch of like theories and speculations by a bunch of people on the internet that just want to make comments? And all those people, as far as I'm concerned, don't work as hard as Nick. Am I going to listen to them? Or am I going to listen to someone who's been busting his ass, literally working to build BPN from the ground up, to train for marathons for like 13 plus years? He wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's putting in the work. He's sweating. He's grinding. He's telling us all how he's going to do what he does step by step. And he is claiming that he doesn't use steroids. I mean, could he be lying? I mean, sure, but I don't think that he is. I think he's an authentic person, and I think he's telling us the process. I think he's showing us the supplements that he uses through BPN, which is a lot of them. I think he shows us his nutrition. He shows us his hard work and his dedication, which truthfully is harder than everybody. I work really hard, but I can humble myself and admit that Nick Bare definitely works harder than everyone, including me. I'm hoping to get to that level, but he is a beast. And the work that he's putting in with his marathon training and his 3 to 5 heavy lifting sessions per week and all these other things, I believe that's why he's successful. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm doubling down. I truly think that Nick Bare is clean, and you guys can tear me to shreds if you want, but here's episode 2. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Nick on gear or is he clean? Let me know. I'll catch you on the next one.